My initial thought about being honored with this award, of course I was very pleased about the honor. I felt less significant than the others whose videos I've watched. Principia has a very prominent place in my thought. That's where I learned how to think. My mother wanted me to go to Principia. We lived in Kansas City. She was a devout Christian Scientist. I believe it was in my junior year of high school. A couple of Sunday school friends and I went for a visit. The people and the campus, being in that chapel with everybody singing, that was it. After that, I wanted to go. It became more like a home to me than my home. My wife Barbara and I graduated from Principia. We have 3 children. 2 of them went to Principia. The middle one went to the U.S. Naval Academy. We have 10 grandchildren, and 6 of them went to Principia. So we've had a lot of interaction with Principia during our entire adult lives. I wanted to be an engineer. Principia did not have an engineering program. They had a 3-2 program, 3 years to Principia and then 2 years to an engineering school. So I went to Principia and I loved it so much there was no way I was going to leave for the 4th year. So I just stayed with physics in 4 years and never did go to the other school. The classes were like 150 people in the class. I didn't want my education to be degraded by getting distracted. We encouraged our kids and grandkids to go to Principia because it was a great school. Wonderful education, Christian Science environment. They had very small classes, so every class you were going to have an interaction with the professor. And you'd ask them a question, and they would not answer the question. They'd ask you a question back so that you could think through and get the answer. The deep relationships I had, I think, were with my roommates. And I remember lying on the floor in Brooks' living room, doing all-nighters, cramming for the test the next day. But it was a lot of just basic camaraderie. I didn't meet Barbara until, well, I met her, but not as dating. We started dating in our junior year at college. Our first date was a dance where the girls invite the boys. She was always smiling, still is. First date I had with Barbara, I knew she was the one. When I graduated from Principia, my parents and I and my sister took a family vacation. And the goal of the vacation was to get Jimmy a job. We started just going across country, no luck, no luck, no luck. And I got to Orange County, California. My mom had a sister here, and her husband was a line representative selling products to defense contractors. And he suggested I go talk to Audinetics, which was a division of North American Aviation. And that was my first job. I was there for 2 years. I had a lot of responsibility for somebody fresh out of college. Once again, I felt my education was better than my peers. I was testing the guidance and control system of the Minuteman missile. And we went to General Dynamics in Pomona. They had a big centrifuge which would simulate the acceleration of a missile and see how that affected the electronics in the guidance system. It had this computer in it. And I had never seen a computer, didn't know anything about them. And for some reason, it just seemed to be my path. While it was doing a self-test, I was learning how to program this computer. And I was on night shift. Barbara had a job teaching school on day shift. We hardly ever saw each other, so I had to get a day job. I started in Hughes Aircraft Company as a software developer, developing radar systems. And my total time at Hughes was 25 years. And I still had this urge to have my own company. And the thought came to me almost immediately, interferometer. And I walked down the hall to one of my colleagues. I asked him, what's an interferometer? And he told me, but I found out later he didn't know either. And since I didn't know what it was, there's no doubt in my thought that it came from God. It's a technique that astronomers use to measure the angle of arrival of a signal coming from a radio emitting star. And it's the most accurate technique known to man. The fire control radar searches a volume, detects an incoming threat. This threat can be a ballistic missile, it can be a bomber, anything. It starts tracking it, computes where it can be intercepted. The radar interferometer tracks the outgoing interceptor and the incoming target, sends that position data up to the interceptor, and then the interceptor with that data can guide itself to hit the target. So it's for defending an area. This is a significant contribution to the defense of our country. So I wrote this proposal, won the contract. When it started getting serious funding, I resigned from my position at Hughes Aircraft and started the business. Christian Science taught me to be a better listener, listening to people and also listening for divine ideas from God. A few weeks ago, we had a brand new system. It was being tested at White Sands Missile Range. The radar is the core to this entire weapon system, and it wasn't working. Our people were frustrated, discouraged, and I've never done this before, but we were driving home from church, and I told Barbara, we're gonna have a prayer meeting tomorrow. I sent out an all-hands letter. We're gonna have a prayer meeting Thursday morning, 9:30. Our guys in White Sands are having a lot of problems, and we're gonna pray. And we did that. I had no idea what was going to happen. I've never done that before. At the meeting, I told them about the interferometer being a divine idea and how that came to me. And listening is one form of prayer. The next morning, our customer who was at the test came up with an idea that kind of fixed a problem we were having and enabled us to have a successful test. And everyone was going around high-fiving everybody. I mean, it was just no doubt that that was a successful test. My message to current students is take advantage of everything you can at Prin, because they have so much to offer, especially mingling with Christian Scientists. That just comes into your thinking and develops you as a person without you even being aware of it. Principia teaches you how to think, and that never becomes obsolete.